All right, welcome. Thank you
Welcome.
for being patient. Just like students, we have technical issues, and just like students, we depend on our kids to help us.
Oh, yes.
So if this is Angela Logwood and if she looks a little uncomfortable, it's because she's trying to hold her computer in a very awkward way today.
It's the only way it'll work.
So thank you guys for joining us today. It looks like we've got Michelle here with us, and I think we've got a few others here. So we'll check in with you guys. If you have questions today about how to be a successful student online, feel free to ask a question in the comments. But since we're going to be 100% online this semester, we want to make sure that students get as much information about classes as possible. And my name is Kathy Kramer, and I am part of the support staff for students and teachers. So I will put my contact information in the comments, and you can email me with any questions you have. And then with me today is Angela Logwood, and she is an IET and HESE teacher. She does it all. Even holds computer laptops in her hand while she is interviewed.
You put it upside down.
So Angela, thank you for being here with us today.
You're welcome.
So first off, I wanted to know, how are you feeling about this new semester?
So it is a new normal to get used to. But I mean, I feel like the students, I'm following them because my students particularly have been so wonderful transitioning to the remote learning environment. So I just could not follow their lead. So I'm getting more comfortable. I feel more confident going into the fall semester because we were kind of thrown into it in the spring. But going into fall, I feel a little bit more confident because we've been here before, at least for a little while.
Yeah. Our brains are kind of like, okay, we've got this.
Right.
Oh, and it looks like Frankie Thomas is with us today. She said you're a good friend. And
oh, yes.
Mother and woman, all of those. So, Angela, even though this is kind of our new normal, a lot of our students worry about learning online. And what ideas do you have to prepare yourself for online learning?
Well, time management. I had to drill that into my students this semester. Time management is very important because sometimes you let your class fall by the wayside, especially because it's online. You're not in person, face to face. So you may put off your assignments. So what I had my students do this semester was I had them write out from the start of their day to the end of their day what they did. And then we went back and assessed how they spent their time during the day. So were they spending extra time on Facebook? Were they spending extra time in the break room talking when they could have been doing something else? So it really makes you look at your time and assess how you can put your classes into your day. Given that you have to be a self-starter now and go online, even if if your class is not meeting online at a specific time, you have to put in that time to work outside of class time. So it's important. I think everyone should do it. I did it with my students, and I was surprised to see that I had some time that I could have been doing something more productive, and I wasn't. So I think that's key.
So it is easy to, I'll just check one thing on Facebook, and then 2 hours later you realize.
Right, you're still on
there. All right, so time management. So kind of tracking through the day what you are doing and what you could have been spending time on instead.
Yes, I also, from there, I had them make out a schedule. So now that they had looked at their day, where are the holes at? Where do you have the additional time where you could work on classes or you can be studying? Because all of them have families and they all work. So it's important to be able to squeeze in those important things, especially given that we're remote now. So again, it's not, no one's calling you to say, get online. You have to remember to get online. You have to remember to do those assignments. Well, not me, because I do send my students quite a bit remind messages.
And luckily, a lot of our teachers do, so they will start harassing you if you're not doing your work.
Yes, I will.
All right, perfect. So manage your time, schedule, time management, and make sure you're scheduling your time.
Yes.
I know for me personally, I have to like put it on a calendar, like Tuesday, Thursday, I'm studying from 8 to 9. Otherwise, I don't. I'm a check off person. I like checking things off and feeling successful.
Okay.
All right. So let's say I start off the year and I'm doing great. Everything's going well. I have time management and I'm doing all my lessons, and then my job changes, my hours, or my kids need more from me. What tips should a student follow when things just start getting crazy?
So that schedule that you create, it's a work in progress. So as your life changes, as you have changes, you should change your schedule also, because your time is going to change. Obviously, you may have to commit more time to family. So you may have to readjust some things. So I would say it's a work in progress, and to reassess more than once during the semester. So I remind my students, and we do it again. But you just have to kind of put that in your head, maybe put it on your calendar to reassess every 2 weeks or once a month to look at your schedule to make sure that things are going smoothly. And if not, then you can readjust your schedule.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Okay. We do have a message from Jessica Soto. She says, will instructors be emailing specific things before classes start? So I know you can only speak for yourself.
Yes.
Do you usually send things out beforehand?
Well, given that we're online now, I will be putting my syllabus online before classes start so that students can look ahead. I usually put a tentative schedule on there of things or topics that will be discussed each week or things that we'll work on each week, so that if students wanted to plan out things, they can ahead of time. It's usually tentative again, because just like you said, things can change. Maybe it's a topic that you're working on that you need additional time and you thought that students would grasp it really well, but you need an extra week for it. So it's tentative and it can change, but I at least give them a skeleton to look at. And my syllabus usually is online. So I would say that's something that students can look forward to receiving from their teachers before class time, because we have to turn those things in early anyway. So before classes begin, they're due. So
teachers have work before class starts.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And Jessica, I just want to mention, if you've gone through all the registration process, which I think you have, you should have received an email with both of your teachers' email addresses, your math and English. And if you can email them and say hi, you can ask them that question. And, will the syllabus be available soon? What can I do to start planning my time? So that's true for all students. Once you've completed the enrollment process, you'll receive within 7 to 10 business days a confirmation that you are in class. You'll have your English teacher's email, your math teacher's email, or if you're in ESL, you'll have your ESL teacher's email. Send them an email quickly and say, hey, I'm ready. Tell me what I need to do.
We love students like that.
Yeah, it's true. All right. So one of the things that I really love about you, Angela, is you do it all, or it appears to me that you do it all. You've got a family, you've got a little baby, you've got grown kids, you've got multiple jobs. I think you're working on your master's or doctorate.
My second master's, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, with Angela, we're like, she's like Superwoman in our office.
Oh, wow.
So how do you do it, and how do you suggest students who are struggling to do work, family, school? It's a lot. So what suggestions do you have for them?
Well, I make it look easy, but
You do.
I have a great support system. I'll say that. I have wonderful kids that are very understanding. So I have my time that I spend with them, and they're very supportive of when I have to go to work. I have Frank that's also supportive for me. So he's a man in my life, and he's very supportive, and that matters. And then I have a slew of family and friends that are always willing to chip in and help out if I need them to. And I would say I make a schedule out just like the students do. So I keep a calendar book, and everything is in there. I look at it every morning, and I can see what I need to do for the day. And at the beginning of the week, then I'm mapping out my week to see where I need to be. Right now, because it's a lot of Zooms going on, I have to kind of pick and choose, which Zooms I'll attend, because some of them overlap because it's not face-to-face anymore. But I would say that I'm a scheduler also. I'm also a checker, just like you, Kathy. Once I get something done, and I'm crossing it off my list. But yeah, just be persistent and be willing to change and have some me time. You need some me time. Because I work a lot, I do. So I do take some time for myself, even if it's when I go to the gym or when I go to Dunkin' Donuts and treat myself for, my afternoon coffee. Have some time for yourself.
I'm going to put that for some of our ESL students. Me time might be a new phrase.
Okay.
But if you haven't heard it, like Angela said, it might be just taking some time for yourself, going to the gym or sitting and enjoying a few minutes of coffee by yourself, or, maybe it's only 2 minutes. The me time doesn't have to be long. So what I'm hearing is that we should really focus in on the support systems that we have, our family, our friends, our husbands, wives, spouses,
yes,
boyfriends, girlfriend, anyone that's important in your life.
Use your resources.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. I like that. Very good. Michelle Lyman asks, how do you keep your students engaged online?
Well, I always do a Q&A at the beginning, so it's very casual. Because my students work and we're on in the evening time, they may trickle in, just like when we were face-to-face and students are getting off work, you have that time where they may not be on time. So I always do a Q&A and kind of do a check-in to see how their week is going. Students really appreciate that you care and that you're taking that additional time to connect with them, and you are concerned about what's going on in their personal lives. They may have had a crappy week, or it may not be going so well. They may need some words of encouragement. So I take that time at the beginning of my class to kind of let them talk to each other and to just ask me questions. And it's not about class. It's not about anything academic. It's just about life in general. How are you doing? And then I always try to make sure that they have something interactive to do. I'll play a video and we'll talk about it. Usually I'll put a question on Google Classroom for students to answer beforehand, and then we'll talk about it during class time. So I try to keep them engaged by thinking of doing things that are interesting to them, like resume creation. A lot of workshops we did this time, actually, that was different because we usually do it face-to-face, but our departments are wonderful at JJC. Someone came in and did a financial aid workshop for the students last week, and we had a resume workshop. Someone from the business department came and did that, or the career development department, they came and did that. So I'm trying to keep them interested by bringing topics that are interesting to them. They know that they're going to need that resume when they're done with school, so it was important for them to show up for that. Things that are just,
there's so many resources at our school.
Yes, there are so many. Yes. If you're a teacher and you're online, tap into the resources that we have online. There are so many people that are willing to help.
It's true. And we have our contact information in the comments. So if you're in need of any of these resources, but you don't know how to find them, you can always email me, the office, your teacher. We all want to help you. So make sure you reach out to us if there's anything that we can help you with. Okay, Michelle Lyman is full of questions for you today, Angela. how do you adapt your instruction online for non-native English speakers?
So
A lot of our ESL.
I use Remind quite a bit for my students, but I translate the information in Spanish for them as well. And my students are really great with using each other. My cohort, they're like a family. So they're working together they go from fall to spring and then summer semester. And so they're working together quite a bit. And so they make friends. And if they don't understand something, they reach out to another classmate. It may not be that they understand it the way that I presented it. So it may be that another student can say it differently and they understand perfectly. And that happens. And I'm fine with that.
Students sometimes are better at explaining things than we are.
Yes, they are. They are. It's been times that my students have stopped me and said, wait a minute, such and such didn't understand. Let me say it. And then they'll say it. And I'm perfectly fine with that.
You're like, I'm going to use that next time.
Yes, I'm perfectly fine with them doing that.
So I think that's a good thing to bring up, Angela. I think sometimes now that we're online, it's a little scary for students because face-to-face, we do develop those friendships. Mm-hmm. How would you suggest online students create those strong networking, working together relationships?
Well, my students are all stars. So they actually created their own GroupMe. And so they're able to collaborate with each other and talk outside of talking online. They don't wait for us for class time. They actually chat with each other quite frequently through GroupMe, a chat service. And then I was using Google Meets also for students, in addition to Google Classroom during the semester. So that's also a place that they were able to chat with each other. And then additionally, at the end of my classes, sometimes I just leave the Zoom up and let them talk. If they were late and maybe they didn't get that Q&A session at the beginning, or maybe they didn't get to connect at the beginning of the lesson, I let them stay online and talk to each other at the end. So because that happens.
Okay. So like if a group wanted to create their own like WhatsApp or Google Meet, they could do that. Mm-hmm. They don't have to wait for you.
Right. And I encourage that. That's something at the beginning of when I start a cohort that I encourage them to make friends. I always tell them, you have so many resources in this room. Make a friend. See who's in here, because you never know when someone's a boss and someone's looking for a job. You never know who you might meet or connect with that's in the room with you. And you're going to be working with these people or these students that are around you for a very long time. So make a friend.
So you do something a little interesting, a little different than our regular HSE high school equivalency classes. Do you want to talk a little bit about what an IET is?
Yes. So I work with the same students that are in the HSE or the ESL program. However, these students earn they take credit classes in addition to taking their ESL or HSE classes. So it's more work for them. So when they are in the bridge class, we have a bridge. And that class was created actually so that we don't just throw students into credit courses. They've been taking non-credit courses in our department, and then just throwing them into a credit can be quite of a shocker. So we created the bridge class to kind of transition them into the credit courses. So in that bridge class, it's really soft skills that they learn. So if they don't have computer skills, then that's where they get them, or they learn a lot of computer skills, math skills that they're going to need to complete the coursework in their credit classes. That's all done in the bridge class. And then we do a lot of networking in the bridge because I really want them to connect with each other and use each other as a resource. If they can't connect with the teacher for the class, or they can't connect with me, they can always connect with each other. So there's a lot of team building exercises that are done in the bridge as well. And those classes, those students earn actually a certificate of completion this cohort is for transportation, warehousing, and logistics. So they're taking the TWL classes in addition to their high school equivalency and their ESL classes as well. Most of our students graduate or they complete the program with their certificate, and they'll either earn their high school equivalency while they're in it or very soon afterwards.
Wow. Offers a lot.
Yes.
Angela, I want to be in your class.
You want to be in the class? I'll sign you up, Kathy.
I think it's so fun when you feel like you're part of something, you know, and it sounds like your students are. So you've had a lot of good tips for us today. Is there anything else that you would like to share with us?
Yes. Well, we are recruiting for our next cohort. So if you're interested, you can put Michelle Lyman's information in the chat for people to reach out if they are interested, or if you're a teacher online and you know of a student that you would like to refer. It is a great program. The certificates that the students earn are stackable, so they can continue in the program after they're done with the cohort. So they'll earn initially the 17 credit hours through the program, and they'll receive a certificate of completion, but they can continue on and get the go up in the level. I know that there's actually a bachelor's in the field now. So the sky is the limit. Who knows what will come down the pike, you know.
And then what kind of jobs, if they're interested, could this help them with?
So a lot of our students already work in the warehousing industry. So usually when they're in the cohort, actually 2 of our students this semester were able to get promotions during the semester because of the coursework that they're taking now, because they're no longer entry level. I mean, they may already have skills because they've been working in the field, but they're no longer entry level now that they have all of this wealth of knowledge. The instructor for the classes, Jim Rivas, is wonderful. And he teaches them a lot of Excel and working with those spreadsheets that they're going to need to work in the industry at a different level, at a very high level. So,
and so it's open for HSE or ESL students.
It's open to HSE and ESL.
All right, perfect. So in the comments, I put Michelle Lyman's email address if you're interested in joining Angela in an IET class. So you could still work on getting your HSE and on your ESL while you're working on a certificate. All right.
And just to mention, lastly, that supply chain management, global supply chain management, is in very high demand. So if anyone wanted to look it up, you can. It's in high demand in the near future. So jump on board.
Do it. This is the time.
Yes.
And it's free, right, Angela?
Yes, it is. It is. Oh, gosh. It is grant funded. So if you're looking for a program that is going to provide some financial for you, this is the program for you to join. You want to get into the next bridge and possibly be in the next cohort.
Perfect. All right. Anything else for us today?
Oh, that's all I have. Thank you.
Well, that was a lot. That was a lot.
I'm ready to get started with the next one.
So, yeah, we have a lot of great teachers at JJC with our ESL and HSE classes. So we just want to remind you that to be in fall classes, you do have to fill out the online registration. There's a video and then the enrollment form. So you do have to make sure, even if you came to classes last spring or summer, you still have to fill out the enrollment form. So we're trying to reach as many students as we can. We know with COVID, a lot of people have been busy and they haven't had a chance to get back to thinking about school, but we'll be taking students for a while still. So feel free to share our registration information, our Facebook page, let people know about the IET with Angela if they're interested in, you know, moving up and learning some new things. And otherwise, next week we're going to have Carrie Upjohn, one of our HSE teachers, will be here. She and I are starting an online book club. So we'll be discussing that. So think about that as an option also. And that's free. Everything's, well, not everything, but a lot of free stuff. Not everything, but a lot of free stuff that we can offer you. We are a community college, so, we want to build our community and make it stronger. So that is it for today. Angela, thank you. And thank you for working through the technology issues. Again, students, we have the same issue. So if you struggle the first night, second night, third night, don't worry. We're still here for you. We get it because we're doing the same thing at home.
Absolutely.
All right, Angela, thank you. Thank you for everyone who attended today.
Thanks for having me.